Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video, I will be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as banned protocol, some absolutely crazy stuff that's been going on there over the last 24 hours and really interesting as we take a look at the charts. But I've also got some news that I'll be going over for Bitcoin, and I think it's very interesting. You guys are going to find it interesting too. And aside from that, I do have the charts up here on the side, just showing the liquidations of what's going on, or if there's a major price movement. So I have everything set up on this threshold to at least $100,000. You can see a lot of selling pressure going on right now as we're just 1 minute away from the time of me recording this video to being on the new daily candle position. Aside from that, I do want to go ahead and let you guys know, in case you didn't know, I'm actually a manga creator. I'm the creator of this series right here called Revival. So if you guys happen to be into that stuff, the anime manga stuff, I'm going to go ahead and include a link. I haven't really talked about this on this channel before as far as I recall. But based on this series for the full volume, I also just published yesterday and made public my own video game. So if you guys like Roblox, I know a lot of people associate it with kids, but guess what? A lot of adults also play Minecraft, and this is a free-to-play game, or maybe you have kids that like this kind of stuff, but it has to do with a lot of the story that deals with my manga, and this is also a free game, so I'll include a link in the description for that. It's still in the alpha stage. There's still things that are needing to be worked out, but I know you guys are here for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I just wanted to go ahead and touch base on that a little bit. I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's get this video to at least 100 likes, and also drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about everything today, and if there's anything I maybe missed, but also click the bell icon so you actually get notified. It's so important. You don't want to miss these videos. I try to upload them as timely as I can, and you want to be up to date with everything, because when you're talking about stuff with money especially, time is of the essence, right? Always do more of your research. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't directly ask me what you personally should be investing in. I'm just giving my opinion and my analysis on this stuff. And I know I spent 2 minutes, so let's go ahead and get right into the news. And we just saw the new daily candle position starting off a little bit in the red, but it did close above the 21 EMA. So a couple things, we're going to knock these out of the park and get into the technicals. Rockstar and Kiss bassist Gene Simmons tells fans he bought Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So over on Twitter, he had actually said, "I'm not recommending any of these to anyone, but yes, I bought and or will own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and others." Really curious what the others are, right? I believe he said that he also did XRP, if I recall. I might say it somewhere in here, but I'm not going to waste the time on it. I'm pretty sure he said that he bought XRP as well. So take a look over on social media. A couple other interesting things as well. So like Michael Saylor's, he said, "I've never seen so many CEOs sign up to attend one of our events." In case you guys didn't know, Michael Saylor, Michael Saylor is the CEO of MicroStrategy, which is a very big company now making investments into Bitcoin. And recently he announced that he was going to do like a summit. So if other corporations wanted to step forward and learn more about Bitcoin, how they invested it out of their company and why they feel that it's valuable, he's going to have like a full-on presentation for, I think, a couple different days. And so he said, "I've never seen so many CEOs sign up to attend one of our events. Send yours or come join our session and report back to your team. Every company can benefit from plugging into the Bitcoin monetary network." I think this is supposed to take place like February 3rd or something. And Willy Woo said, "In terms of adoption, Bitcoin is roughly the same users as the internet had in 1997, but Bitcoin's growing faster. Next 4 years on current path will bring Bitcoin users to 1 billion people. That's the equivalent of 2005 for the internet." So just absolutely crushing it. In case you guys want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is in the bottom left-hand side right there. It's at AtlasOfficialTV. Feel free to say hi or check me out and see what I talk about too. I engage with a lot of these people liking their stuff. I need to retweet more though. And I need to just tweet more in general. Adoption curve, as you guys can see here, just absolutely explosive. Just going full on parabolic. Now, also, Elon Musk, he's been making a lot of news going in relationship to Bitcoin lately, because he did put hashtag Bitcoin a couple nights ago. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I talked about this in a previous video. And in 1 hour, Bitcoin went up $5,000. And that's all he did. He just changed his bio and put hashtag Bitcoin. That was it. So he actually went on a podcast and he had some interesting things to say, which is very bullish, again, for the future of Bitcoin. Didn't have a dramatic impact on it immediately like what we saw with the hashtag thing in its bio yet, but, you know, Good chance that we will see something like that. So Elon Musk just got asked about Bitcoin and what he thinks of it, and his first response is, I gotta watch what I say here because I can move the market. What power is that? Documenting Bitcoin, said Elon Musk, I think Bitcoin is on the verge of getting broad acceptance. And then he also said, I do at this point think Bitcoin is a good thing. I'm a supporter of Bitcoin. I am late to the party, but a supporter. Bitcoin is on a verge of getting broad acceptance by traditional finance people. No more than Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, Chamath Palihapitiya, I don't know how to say that guy's name still. Naval Ramak, I'm just going to say their first names. Ray, Mark, Stan, Steve, Bill, Millard, Peter, Mike, and Michael. Wow, you're in a good standing, I guess, if your name's just Michael, right? Or Mike. If not, then you may want to buy some Bitcoin. Yeah. So they've already got quite a bit that's going on, but the answer is you never had enough, right? That's always going to be the answer when the price goes up. Man, I should have had more. I'd be doing even better if I just bought more. People are greedy. But people are also struggling. Hence, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is kind of evolved into what it is and why it's here. And so, yeah, Elon Musk had said Bitcoin's a good thing. Musk said in comments broadcast on social audio app Clubhouse on Monday. Musk said he was late to the party in backing Bitcoin. A lot of people are trying to respond back and be like, Elon, you're not late to the party. The party's still early. You're not as early as the first people, but the party still hasn't really gotten started yet. Bitcoin had surged to above $38,000 on Friday after Musk changed his biography on the Twitter social network to simply Bitcoin, as I mentioned earlier. Another interesting thing is Miami's mayor leads the charge to bring Bitcoin to America's largest cities. Some very interesting things in this article. This is posted through Forbes. There are 3 tangible paths the city is taking to expand its Bitcoin-friendly nature. Number 1, Miami is considering giving city employees the opportunity to get their salaries paid in Bitcoin. Number 2, local fees and taxes could be paid in Bitcoin or some other currency. Cryptocurrency. 3, finally, the city's treasury might place some of its investment capital into Bitcoin, which would be a first for major cities in the United States and perhaps in the world. A hypothetical example with arbitrary numbers, the city would invest about $250,000 in public funds into a fund that would be supplemented with $750,000 in private Bitcoin, so we're talking $1 million total, from 3 large investors. The private investors would get the first funds out to guarantee their return, while the city would benefit from anything left. Miami's treasury, according to the mayor's recollection, doesn't hold any commodities and mostly sticks to cash and cash equivalents. This makes his intent in this field a strong statement of interest in what holding Bitcoin can do for the city of Miami. Beyond just efforts for his city, Mayor Francis is also reaching out and learning from other states and jurisdictions and making efforts to bring Wyoming state laws of Bitcoin to Florida, having reached out to Caitlin Long of Wyoming fame and speaking with Florida CFO Jimmy Patronis about bringing a bill in the state legislature that would bring Wyoming-style Bitcoin regulations to Florida. And for those of you guys that don't know, Wyoming has been very accepting of Bitcoin. You can own full property rights in the state of Wyoming. And then also Kraken, which is one of the cryptocurrency exchanges in which you can buy Bitcoin through and trade through the United States. They announced late last year that they're going to be opening up their own bank for cryptocurrencies in the state of Wyoming, which is going to be a historic move. The way that they're going to be set up is a little bit different than a standard bank, but regardless, it's a place that you can go physically into and go to a store and have them hold your cryptocurrencies. Another article from Entrepreneur. They're suggesting why they think Bitcoin will hit $59,000 in 2021. Numbers get thrown all over the place, right? I could say Bitcoin is going to hit $69,420, right? There's plenty of signs. Here's my backing of this, is people love meme coins. Look at Dogecoin. If everyone's going to go show support for Dogecoin and Bitcoin's rallying right now and it's going to pass 50,000, if anything, why not go hit 69,420, 69,420, right? It's just a number. We'll have to see how things progress. There's too much that can end up changing during the course of that time. That's my point that I'm saying with this. But anyways, to justify a little bit the legitimacy behind something like this, which would also technically entail closer to mine as well, Some of the key points they said is there's a cost to mine Bitcoin. So obviously they're trying to recoup their costs. But by holding out for these things, it's going to be more profitable for them. There's not an unlimited supply. There's only 21 million. And then you factor in all the amount that's actually been missing or lost. Not missing, but like people misplaced their thumb drive, their ledger or whatever, right? People died. It's been 2009, so 12 years. Yeah. Going on quite a while. There are a growing number of Bitcoin addresses. Yep, more and more people are getting involved into cryptocurrency. A lot of it's going into cold storage too. The mining community is still growing. More and more people are getting involved in it. You can go buy an ASIC machine yourself if you wanted to. It's going to be a bit costly, especially with electricity. So either you got to have a solar panel for that kind of thing or live in a place where the cost of electricity is really cheap. Otherwise, it's going to cost you more than what you're trying to mine. Bitcoin is the world's reserve cryptocurrency. A lot of people are now looking at that as a reserve. It's not just the United States that's getting involved with this. Bitcoin gets lost, locked, and burned every day, as I just mentioned a minute ago. So many people out of that total circulating supply, the 21 million, which is still a fixed supply. So more definitively reference to what that was about, that there's not an unlimited supply. At most, there will ever be 21 million. There'd be a very small chance that that could change depending on the people that are involved still, if they happen to still have access to that stuff in the future, to be able to update the, darn, I forgot what it's called. It's like, it has to do kind of with the node stuff. Anyways, let's just keep moving on. DeFi is also growing. So you got things like BlockFi. So people getting involved in collateral where you put forward your Bitcoin, you can get that transferred over, you get interest rates, things like that. Bitcoin is very bullish. They're ending their statement by saying this. After a strong rally from the 2020 lows, the Bitcoin market is very bullish. Bitcoin is likely to move sharply higher over the next year, and based on the recent move, it could run close to 100%. Assuming the recent consolidation at all-time high levels will lead to a continuation, we project at least $27,000 in upside from the $32,000 level. So you take $32,000 plus $27,000, and what do you get? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. No, I'm kidding. You get $59,000. That's the number that they came up with. I think my number is better though. 69,420. What do you guys think? Now let's go dive into the charts. Take a look at Bitcoin. As we had set up, still our symmetrical triangle pattern, as you guys can see here, did have a little bit of a breakthrough yesterday, which was looking pretty good, but then it ended up pulling back down. And then we had another drop down below that got very close once again to that level of support. So everything's consolidating sideways here. There's a big key decisive moment that's pushing right around February 5th. It was February 2nd, I believe, what I had before. So I guess in theory, if that day was to still hold, we could see a major move today, as it is very close to that point too, which would make a bit of sense. But because new high positions had been set, I readjusted this accordingly, the best that I could. We do have a couple other instances here, so tried to get a vast majority of points in that general consensus. This looks more like a fake out, a little bit of an anomaly, and so because of that, I'm still trying to stick and stand by my February 5th position. But if it decides that it wants to go past that, then I'm just going to drop this down, and it's going to extend it several more days, and that gives us another point of view to take a look at. These lines do change sometimes, That's what's important, is that there was a move attempted, and then it faked out and came back in, tried to reestablish itself, and based on how many times that it tries to test those, it forms a new trend. So you got to understand that trends do change. You can't just have one definitive chart that says, here's your blueprint for the whole year or the next 10 years. News comes out, lots of stuff happens. And as it is right now, we have some resistance at $33,866. I am seeing the price of Bitcoin starting to rally up on the other side. If it decides it wants to go back down, we already saw a bounce off of the 21 EMA. Look at how beautiful that is. 33,450 is a level of support. A further level of support is going to be dropped down to what looks like from the previous day, actually, which is at $32,343. Another level down below that, I would be really keeping an eye on around $32,000. And then a substantial drop we could see go down to $30,000. Right now, things are looking bullish, though. especially all the stuff that's been going on with the stock market. And then today, AMC was popping really good, right? A lot of the people from Wall Street Bets were really talking about AMC. And at one point, especially right after the beginning start of the day, it was looking really good. And then it started trickling all the way down. And then, of course, after market hours, when the stock market closed, it just started plummeting super hard. And everyone on social media is saying, like, hold, hold, hold. Like, they're going to get liquidated throughout the course of this week if everyone just holds above a certain dollar value, and that's going to cause them to have to buy back in. It's going to rally the price even higher, and everyone's trying to prove a point against the suits, right? And I was watching one other guy's live stream really early this morning. He was even showing his portfolio. It was like $15,000 or something that he was in the negative, and he said that normally he would go ahead and just sell it off because he had some indicators suggesting that there was a little bit of relief going on the shorting. Well, look at the price just popping up like that. But because he's trying to keep the diamond hands, those super strong hands, and be a part of the community to prove this point, he was willing to potentially take that massive loss. And he said, that's just to show you guys his level of commitment to something like this. So a lot of people are looking at AMC like that. But the big point with this, not in regards to the stock, but is more about the community involved with this movement, the Wall Street Bets. They're highly talking about now more so how Bitcoin is so valuable because it's already sticking it to the man. It's already sticking it to this corrupt form of system that we've had to deal with for so many years. And, I'm sorry, but if you don't think the system is corrupt, it's corrupt. The Federal Reserve has infinite printing abilities. And just last year alone, they did, I believe it was approximately 25% of printing of all the money that we've ever had in the United States since we became a country. A quarter in 1 year, right? And we're talking all the way back to 1776? That's a lot of years to just all of a sudden flood into the market. You could say, oh, that's because of COVID, this and that. It still devalues the value of the dollar. And on top of it, the Federal Reserve was then able to grant these extra bits of funds, billions of dollars, to specific companies, right? Helping them with bailouts on things. Meanwhile, the American citizens are all struggling trying to get the next stimulus check, right? And people are going to the food banks left and right. And a lot of these businesses are still closed temporarily. And just the whole thing has been handled so bizarrely. But regardless of that, people are now looking more so into Bitcoin. There was a recent surge into Coinbase. A lot of people that were doing the stuff with Robinhood to be able to buy the stocks because of the limitations there, they moved over to Coinbase. So that upsurge is suggesting not only the potential for Bitcoin to have a rally up once again, but also the fact that some of the altcoins that are smaller market caps that haven't been able to get much momentum are now going to potentially be able to start getting some gainers, as they could make more of a profit than, say, something like Doge, which you need way more money invested into Doge in order to get the price to actually move. So if people want to make money and they want to support a good cause, there's a lot of smaller market cap coins that are on Coinbase, just for example, one exchange, that people should be looking into. So now we're breaking above. We're at $34,000. It is still rallying very well. Hopefully while I'm talking, you still enjoyed the fact that you could see the things on the chart here. Once again, if you guys are new, please don't forget to hit subscribe and click the bell button. Please don't forget the bell button, because YouTube is horrible at notifying you, and you may never see my videos again if you don't click the bell button. I've had this experience. I've been doing this for years. And then also, let's try to get to 100 likes on this. Now looking at Bitcoin, let's have the further continuation up on the levels. Obviously past $34,000, $35,000 is going to be on a lot of people's radar and seeing what we could do with that. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of resistance that's taking place right around $34,700 to $800 range, right about there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a little line for you guys. Couple different points of reference right here. We got one on January 18th, a little bit of a pass through on January 25th, a little bit of a pass through on January 30th, but a bounce off of on February 1st as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make this my dotted line for you guys right there, just like that. And if it manages to break above that level at 34,750, let's break above $35,000, and then another level at 36,894. That's off of the Fibonacci sequence. And a further continuation up, we got one at 38,000. We're starting to get back towards the $40,000 range. 38,000 was right around the range that we had where Elon Musk had sent out that tweet, or not the tweet, he posted in his Twitter account, hashtag Bitcoin. And we're also seeing a lot of Bitcoin, by the way, moving off of Coinbase and other exchanges into cold wallets. And Grayscale's still been buying a ton of this stuff. So you're having a shortage crunch, right? Supply shock. Sorry, that's the correct words that I was trying to say with this. You're having a supply shock, and that is going to be affecting the market. And as you guys can see here, there's just a very strong rally that is now pushing 18 minutes into the new daily candle position. How long that's going to hold, we're going to have to keep an eye on it. As you can see, there's a little bit of selling pressure already starting to go on. But with $1 billion in shorts right now, if this gets liquidated, it's going to skyrocket this thing. And I said this in a previous video, I will stick by my word. If we can move $5,000 in one single day at 1 o'clock in the morning with not even a tweet, just changing your bio, right? Then we can very well see a $10,000 gain over the course of a 24-hour period, which we haven't seen before in a single day. I think that that is highly possible given all the circumstances of everything that's been going on. And really soon, we should be seeing PayPal making the announcement that they're allowing the purchase of Bitcoin worldwide, which means now a lot more access from merchants. Okay, aside from Bitcoin, let's go ahead and move through these other ones. And I want to go ahead and try and keep this a little bit shorter than normal. Ethereum pushing up towards $1,400, a little bit of a bounce off of $1,415. It's getting back, trying to rally towards its previous all-time high. And right now we got major resistance at 1,400, then 1,420, and then we got another level at 1,480. 1,500 is a big objective goal, obviously from a psychological standpoint. That will mark half the way towards 2K, something that we have never been able to achieve yet. And more than likely, if it closes out a daily candle above 1,500, we're going to see a strong rally push following up towards 1,750. The only concern is if Bitcoin decides it wants to have a pullback the following day, as Bitcoin does tend to pull the whole market down. But a daily closure above 1,500, I think is going to be a very strong sign that there's a high probability that it will push to 1,750 and potentially very close to 2,000. More than likely, we're going to have selling pressure just under 2,000. That's normally how it goes. Because you have different exchanges, they have different prices. Some places it might have hit 2,000 and so they sold it immediately, and then other places they almost got to it, but because the other place had just sold it, then it decided it wanted to go down. We have some support level at 1,380, another level at 1,284. A further drop down below that would be at 1,274, and a quite a substantial drop would be 1,228, and then down to 1,135. That would be a very big candle position from where it's at right now. In theory, the next obvious level is $1,000, but everything is suggesting very strong signs right now. So the likelihood of this going down is very minimal. The RSI isn't even overbought, right? That's another thing too. The radar above my head, behind my head, is on buy. It's above the 21 EMA. It's been testing and consolidating a lot of this zone, and we're having these bounces off of this position right here. And it's been forming a bit of a pattern going in this upwards momentum movement. So highly likely that we're going to keep going up. We just hit $1,400 right now. Keep your eyes on Ethereum, guys. I need to get some tea when I'm done with this video. Let me know what your guys' favorite tea brand is. I know this is a random thing, but if you guys are watching my video and you never leave comments on things and you don't know how to engage with this stuff, maybe I'll just give you guys some other stuff to talk about, because honestly, leaving comments is going to help with the engagement on these videos, and that might help our community grow. So I love you guys for being here and showing your support and hitting the like button, or even just watching my videos. It means so much to me, and I really do enjoy making these videos. Honestly, I've been watching other people do their videos for quite a long time. I've learned a lot from these people. I've studied it every day, and it got to the point where when I'm doing the videos, like, I was going to be doing the research on all this stuff anyways. So why not just take what I learned and plop it in a video? Looking at Orchid, yesterday was an explosive day, absolutely amazing, and it bounced off of on the low end on the 21 EMA. Again, it is so fundamental, and I talk about this. It is the fundamentals, right? Try not to overcomplicate things too much because you could drive yourself insane and miss the bigger picture here. So the 21 EMA had to bounce off of it, still suggesting that we're in a bull market. The daily closure was above that, and it went all the way up to 38, almost 39 cents, getting close to that 40-cent range. Now, because of the amount of momentum that it did gain yesterday, we do have to still be cautious because of the track history of what goes on with Orchid, which is typically a pump and dump type situation. However, many people, myself included, feel that it has been way overdue at this point, that it needs to rally up, just like a lot of these other altcoins have been doing, to new higher positions. This has a strong technical format for its application, the VPN space. It's very much dominant inside that field as far as the cryptocurrencies go, but their nano payment technology is something that fundamentally I think is going to be such a game changer for them once they decide to finally announce that they're moving into additional markets besides just the VPN, and which they already said that they're going to be doing, and that's why I'm so excited about it. So just personal belief in this, to let you guys know, this is my favorite undervalued altcoin in my personal experience. I've got heavy bag invested into this, and if you want my honest opinion, the fact that they've done a partnership association with Chainlink and how their market space is going to be looking to adapt with OXT, I wouldn't be surprised if the prices that Chainlink is hitting, if Orchid in the future will hit the same thing. $20, $25 type range. It seems very plausible. They have the exact same total market cap, very similar on the circulating supply side, and there's a lot of people on the team for Orchid that have credible history. They're continuing to work on it. There's new updates coming out, new exchanges happening, staking's coming soon, the stuff with Windows and Linux, a lot of very promising things, and I'm so excited for this project. I'm just looking forward to them having another major announcement sometime soon, I hope. That's the biggest thing. So if this decides that it wants to pull back, what we should be really looking at right now is potentially some support at 33 cents at 0.3381. There's a major level of support like right on the 33-cent range. It's so good that we finally closed, above 33 cents, but how long it's going to close or stay above that is another question, because we did have so much movement yesterday. Again, this could end up just dropping a ton. It happens. Like, we see it time and time over again. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm hoping that people hold their ground at 33 cents. If not, then we got another level of support down here at 31 cents. A further continuation down is at 30 cents. And a further drop down below that, we have major support at 27 cents or 0.2710. That'd be nuts if it dropped all the way down to 27 cents. But to be honest with you guys, given the history, I wouldn't be surprised if it did close below 33 cents. And I also would not be surprised if it even dipped. I don't know if for the daily candle it would close, but if it dipped below 30 cents, I'm hoping that this will rally up. And if it does rally up, then we got some major resistance going on. We got one level at 37 cents. This bounced off at 38 cents. So obviously that's the next big milestone right there. And 40 cents should be on everyone's radar. If it breaks 40 cents, then we're starting to get a little bit back into this previous territory. But there's not a lot of reference points, as you guys can see here, off of past the 40-cent range. There was a little bit of a falling position here, kind of like a dead cat bounce movement as we work our way back towards $1. And then let's go ahead and wrap it up. And here I am once again, lo and behold, I tried to make a shorter video, and this video is just as long as my other videos, if not potentially a little bit longer. Man, I love talking about this stuff, but geez. Now looking at band protocol, I had a pitchfork pattern back here one of the last times that I did this video, so we already broke out of that. That was looking really good. Let me go ahead and clear up all of this. I didn't even realize I had all this when I was going to go do this, to be honest with you guys. Okay. So I actually had set up previously, I don't even know how long ago this was, but it was about $11. There was a level of resistance, and on yesterday's candle, it actually broke through that position and then had a daily candle closure. So as it is right now, it's still looking like that's a pretty good level of support in its position before it has a further continuation on. Now, many of you may be wondering where the next levels are going to be, so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at this with the Fibonacci retracement, which again is from a fundamental perspective, I feel something that is so valuable. And it did have a couple points that were down here on the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and use those as a reference. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and raise it up a little bit more so it has a slight more association going on with that. Okay, so with where we're at right now, I'd be looking at a higher level at $12 or $12.24, and another major zone pushing up. We got some very high positions. That's going to be all the way up to around $14.50. The all-time high, it looks like, was at $17.44. $20. Band Protocol is like a big competitor against Chainlink. So Chainlink, we know, went up to $25. I'd be looking at the possibility of Band trying to make a rally up to that at some point as well, especially if they do some really nice new partnerships coming up here in the near future. And yeah, so those are the key levels looking at right now for the upside. $12.24. We got another one at $14.57. Another one at $17.33. That'd be a really nice daily candle. Yesterday had a high level volume. The RSI is still holding out okay, not overbought in that position. If it decides it wants to go down, we got the $11, as I just mentioned. That's now a support level. Then we got $10.68 as a drop, another drop down below, $9.33. And then essentially invalidating the whole candle yesterday would put it right around $9.06. A very substantial drop would pull it potentially all the way down to $7.14. But you're looking at, that's going to be a massive drop. You can still keep it on your radar, but things are looking pretty good because of the amount of push up yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if this does either have a slight gain today or actually pull back or pull even closer towards the median zone. Normally right around the halfway mark seems to be some recalling positions as a big key indicator if it's going to go down even further. So just see what happens if it goes down to $10.21. I know that's a lot of different levels I gave you guys, but a lot of things could technically happen. You just want to look at it as stepping stones. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video there. Once again, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try and get to 100 likes, and also click the bell icon and drop a comment down below. My manga series Revival, I'll have a link in the description if you want to read that, and if you want to go play, or your kids want to play, your friend wants to play, something like that. My Roblox game, which is in the alpha stage, and I'm still updating it, but I worked on it for 3 months. The link is in the description for that as well. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.